Twos are often called the helper or the giver. They're loving, kind, and they're great at making people feel cared for. I'm a two, so I'm probably a little biased. I think they're pretty awesome, arguably the best people on the planet. You might have other thoughts, Tyler, but hey, yes, for another time. So, um,
Hey, twos oftentimes have a positive self-image, and that's why they cry when they read about the Enneagram. So like,
yeah,
oh, there's a shadow side to me here.
yeah,
Everyone tells me I'm like Jesus and helping everybody, and that two is
yeah,
Jesus's type, you know. But the Enneagram also shows you, where you're going to struggle as well.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so twos can struggle often with being people pleasers. And, this can cause living as a people pleaser can cause a lot of stress, a lot of worry, fretting. So, a helpful question to consider as twos when you start going down the people pleasing trail or narrative is, I found, asking yourself, will this matter in 1 year?
Mm.
Heck, I mean, even 1 week. I mean, for a lot of the stuff twos can fret over, will this matter 1 week or 1 year from now? And the answer to that question, I feel, can really give a lot of perspective of whether or not this is worth thinking about and fretting over, or, causing anxiety. So that's a really good question I found helpful. And the second mental health tip I gave in my video is that because twos are really good often at meeting the needs of other people, we can struggle with being aware of our own needs. And so I challenge twos to start paying attention to what you need. And I'm talking about more so just the emotional needs. Just, being aware, do I need encouragement? Do I need guidance? Do I need affirmation? What are those emotional needs that you have on any given day? And then be vulnerable enough to express those needs to someone who you think would be able to meet those needs. So those are two tips I think can be really helpful for the mental health of Enneagram 2s. So I'd love to hear what insights or thoughts you have for type 2s.
Yeah, I found that exact same thing. The prioritizing others' needs over your own needs is a huge area of struggle. Another one would be your ability to absorb others' emotions. So
Okay.
twos have a tendency to absorb the emotions of others and feel responsible for their happiness. And so this is an emotional burden that they carry that can lead to being overwhelmed and just difficulty in setting healthy emotional boundaries. Uh, this all impacts their mental well-being.
Yep.
Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. That's 100%, 1,000% spot on.
And so that might be hard for two to actually, realize at first because it's just so default. Like the
Yep.
reason I feel sad right now is because the room feels sad or they feel sad. I remember we had a small group over at my house, and there were my family, and another family. We each have sons with behavioral challenges, and they both got into a fight in a yelling match and began wrestling. And I could
Mm.
see the two, who's not a part of either our family, just feel the weight of the anger, the hostility, what was happening, and she left frazzled because she just
Wow.
absorbed all of that negative energy into herself. And that's what happens to twos all the time is they carry that. And so they have
Yep.
to work on setting up a boundary and realizing that they're not responsible to keep everyone happy. That's not their burden to carry. That's the Holy Spirit's.
Yep.
And then
Absolutely.
another issue is for twos is feeling unnoticed and unappreciated.
Yep.
So when their efforts or when your efforts go unnoticed or unappreciated, twos can experience feelings of disappointment and self doubt that they're worthy because again they have a lot of need a lot of external validation like us threes. So this lack of recognition or lack of returning the help back to the two can potentially lead to depression, questioning their self-worth. Maybe my friends don't love me, maybe they don't care about me, they don't seem to be reciprocating. And so just that the relational side of their life, feeling unnoticed and unappreciated can
Yep.
take emotional toll.
Ooh, that is spot on, man. Spot on. I never knew until I got into the Enneagram. I always have had this gift. I can walk into a room and within a couple minutes, like I know what's like I can feel kind of what's going on. Like if it's
Mhm.
heavy, if it's sad, if there's anger, if there's tension, like I'm just aware of it. I never really understood how I could do that, but the Enneagram has given me a lot of language to better understand that and what, how that's a gift and a responsibility. But like you said, it's not my job to carry the burdens of every single person. So I have to have healthy boundaries in knowing what's mine to own and what is not mine to own. Right.
Mhm. Yes.
So, yeah,
Well
good
put.
stuff.